Republican presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson joins us this morning. Dr. Carson is here to talk about his latest book, A More Perfect Union, What We the People Can Do to Reclaim Our Constitutional Liberties. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Carson, to talk about this and so many other things. Let's start with
pleasure.
The obvious for us in South Florida, especially West Palm Beach. How interesting is it that the two leaders in the Republican race for the nomination for president are part-time Palm Beach County residents?
That is amazing. Although I don't get a chance to spend much time there, I certainly like to think about it and pull out my pictures and look at home.
Good. Well, that's nice to hear. Let's get right to your book, A More Perfect Union. You believe the country is facing a constitutional crisis, your words. Why do you feel that way?
Largely because we don't know what our country is about. Everybody knows that we have a constitution. Relatively few people know what's in it or the background behind it and how it is there to preserve our freedoms, our liberties, and how it is there to restrain the growth of government. The natural tendency of government being to infiltrate every aspect of our lives and eventually to dominate the people.
So
we don't want that, so we require information.
So, Dr. Carson, what is your goal for this book?
My goal for the book is to inform people about what the underlying principles of this nation are so that they become the kind of people who vote for the right kinds of representatives, not just voting for somebody because you recognize their name or because they have a D or R behind their name, but because they actually represent the concepts that are so forcefully put forth in our Constitution.
Dr. Carson, with a little bit of time we have left, I'm going to rapid fire some questions about issues facing the country. Let's start with the school shootings in Oregon last week. We know the comments that have circulated the past couple of days that you made, but what would your position be on gun laws in this country right now if you're elected president?
We must preserve the Second Amendment. We can't compromise that, but we can certainly begin to use our collective intellect to discover ways that we can intervene before these problems occur.
What would you do immediately to help the middle class, Dr. Carson, if you're elected president?
A couple of the very big things. Decrease the large number of regulations, because every single regulation costs in terms of goods and services, and it hits the poor and the middle class much more than it does the rich. And drive down our national debt so that we can allow interest rates to rise, because people need a mechanism to increase their money. Bank accounts and bonds and things like that. Now only people with risk tolerance who can go into the stock market can make money, and that's not fair.
Rupert Murdoch is generating a lot of conversation this morning about you for his tweet about you and President Obama. What's your thought on that?
I know Rupert Murdoch. He's not a racist. A lot of people will try to say that's a racist remark. I don't think he meant anything negative by it at all. And
just, you're climbing in the ratings, and what do you think resonates with voters, Dr. Carson?
Primarily the fact that, I'm not a politician. I'm one of them. I speak straight. I'm not going to get into the neat little box that the PC people want me to get into with a nice little ribbon on it. I'm going to talk about what I actually believe and what I think are the issues that affect the viability of our nation going forward.
So sorry we've got to run, but Dr. Carson, thank you for your time. And we want to point out that Dr. Carson will be on hand for a book signing of his latest book at the Costco in Boca Raton next month, Thursday, November 5th at 6:30. Thanks again. And we do want to mention that we did reach out to get interviews with all leading candidates of both parties, and we will get those as we line them up.